Shalom, warriors of YAHUAH and the truth. Oh, Bella, are you biting my hair at night? It's not nice. I don't chew your hair off. Okay. Alright. We left off at Sunday Origin. Well, we were on Natsarim, NASRANI, and Nazarenes. Now we're on Sunday Origins. At Mattiyahu 24:20, our Redeemer Yahusha told us to pray our flight would not occur in winter or on a Shabbat day. Constantine instituted Sunday as a rest day. Are you reading, Bella B? Yeah? You can read. And his historian Eusebius told us how under the edict of Constantine, all things that were duty to be observed on the Shabbat were transferred to the day of the sun. At Laodicea in 370 CE, Shabbat was outlawed, and anyone Yahudaizing on the Shabbat was to be cut off from Yahusha. The mark of authority touted by the papacy is the altering of one of the commandments of Elohim, making Sunday the day we are to close our businesses and attend Mass. Is any of this sounding like a good idea to anyone that's not completely possessed by unclean spirits? There is a link in the I'll put it in the description box. The book Sunday Origins, which I've read on my page. If you're new to my channel, you can go through my older videos, and I have a bunch of videos where I read from Sunday Origins. It's available at Amazon. And explains all the steeples and sun temples all around the earth, and that Yahuah's word made the seventh day the sign of the eternal covenant. You can also find it at TorahZone.net. See Genesis 2:2 through 23 and Hebrews 4. Yahuah does not lie or change. If the Shabbat is not to be observed as a day of rest anymore, why did Yahusha tell us to pray? We need not to flee on it in the great distress. Mattiyahu 24:20. Also, Yashayahu or Isaiah 56 tells us all nations or foreigners guarding Shabbat will be welcome to Yahuah's mountain and be given a name better than sons and daughters in his Mishkan. All nations will be observing the redemption festivals, and any nation not observing tabernacles will receive no rain. Zechariah 14:17, like rain from the sky. These are important inclusions in Yahuah's Kitab Amat, but rarely emphasized. People have a bitterness towards obedience, not sin, because their teachers have led them into confusion. People can see you on there, Bean. Yeah, people can see you there. Look, that's you. Look at you. Yeah, that's Bella Bean. Yeah? See? There you are. There she is. Okay. People have a bitterness towards obedience, but not sin, because their teachers have led them into confusion. Oh, Beanie. Feed my sheep. There are far too many cooks in the kitchen, teachers with their recipes for how to bake our brains. It's easy to slip on their sloppy handling of the precious food, Yahuah's word. Yahusha, our only teacher, will guide us into all truth, but human teachers will guide us into confusion. Natsarim were ordained by Yahusha to teach all nations two things: the name Yahusha and to guard his commandments. In the centuries that followed, the magisterium, circus, or church, hunted the Natsarim, Waldenses, and Huguenots, and Pelagians into the hills and valleys, and forced their own catechetical rules on their victims, and fed the masses wormwood lies. And some of these lies included, let me see. Don't tell me you're on your thing again, Bean. Great. Okay. We have no more diapers, Bean. No more diapers. So some of the wormwood fed to us in the past were Sunday, indoor altars, statues, vestments, stoles, collars, cassocks, pagan sun priest garb. That's what those are, cassocks. Hindu prayer candles, saints' days, relics, which are bones or wood, steeples, popes, nuns, bead praying, or Shiva's tears. Holy water, more Hindu river magic. I don't know.
No, I have to check it.
Object worship, transubstantiation, which is object worship. Like when they have you eat the bread and they say that's JC, but it's just bread.
No other way I'm going after this. Let's go get out of there.
Sacraments, which is divination. Okay. Prayers to the dead, ancestor necromancy. Processions, circumambulation, like walking around an object that they're worshiping. Talismans, scapulars, and more behavior adopted from heathen rituals. We were ordered to never learn. Yirmiyahu 10 and Deuteronomy 12. Mankind has wasted centuries on practicing delusions, and it's all because those who feed the sheep never told them they were consuming repackaged dog vomit and still living in the pigsty. The word God is a term applied originally to Teutonic mighty ones of heathen myth. See Wikipedia. When these Norse tribes converted to Christianity, the term was applied to the supreme being. See Yashayahu or Isaiah 40:28 and 42:8. The cooks have cooked the books and confused the sheep. They remove the key of knowledge, the name of Yahuah, and the proof of this is admitted in the preface of all their popular translations. The name Yahuah was removed and replaced by the English word Lord, the definition of Baal in Hebrew, a demonic name. People live as if Mount Carmel, the controversy over the name, and Mount Sinai, Yahuwah's word, is his eternal covenant, never happened. The way of truth is maligned as evil, 2 Peter 2:2. Turned aside to myths, not bearing sound doctrine. Teachers increase chaos. Stop, Roscoe! What could possibly go wrong? 2 Timothy 4:1-6 and Malachi 4:1-6. And that's the menorah. Here. And here. Okay. Possession by deceiving spirits. Can a human being be possessed by Hashatan or any number of fallen Malachim, fallen angels? Luke 22:3 and Yehukanan or John 13:27 show that Hashatan or Satan, the adversary, can possess the mind of a person. A possessed person's family lineage only encourages a proneness to believe error, making their ignorance of the truth an opportunity to believe a lie. Bella! Parents pass their own false teachings into their children, and pastors remain silent as they do so. The fertility symbols, habits, and all the worldly festivals appeal to the mind of the flesh. Easter is the very name of the mother of harlots, Babel's Ishtar, complete with bunny fecundity, eggs, and baskets to represent the mythical arrival of Ishtar from heaven in the Euphrates. I believe they meant to put bunny fertility. I'm not sure, because these are all fertility symbols that are used during these pagan festivals. Babel's grip on the nations is slipping. Just because brother went out doesn't mean you have to go out. Okay? I'm sorry. Sorry, Bean. Kiss. Okay. Babel's grip on the nations is slipping. And the king of Babel is about to fall. Just like the Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Just like that. Babel's going to fall and not be able to be put back together again. Please share if possible. Let's go up to the Shamayim. Let me go up to the Shamayim. Let me raise my throne above the stars of all. Let me sit in the mount of meeting on the sides of the north. Let me go above the heights of the clouds. Let me be like the Most High, King of Babel. Now, doesn't this picture look familiar to you guys? It was shown to us as children as Santa Claus. So Satan, or Nimrod, in disguise. Roscoe, stop! You guys are getting hair in my book. Okay, Christmas. Who is it celebrating? Christmas is saturated with echoes of paganism. Its origin celebrates the birth of Nimrod. She don't need her ears cleaned again. As the sun deity, passing through the generations in plain sight. And for fun, if you guys would like, I can try to make a video of Roscoe cleaning his sister's ears. He likes to clean her ears. I don't know why. It's probably because the way they smell. But her ears just got cleaned the other day. And he already cleaned her ears this morning. Okay, so 1 second, guys. You stop, Roscoe. Okay. Its origin celebrates the birth of Nimrod as the sun deity. Stop! Passing through the generations in plain sight. They push it in schools. They push every holiday in schools. Why? For Satan and Babel's agenda. Flying as the prince of the power of the air, myths promote him as Santa, bringing gifts on his own solar birthday. Romans considered the hearth of their home to be the habitation of the presence of the one they worshipped. Fire. Roscoe, stop it. Stop. Under the mythological elf disguise known as Santa Claus, or Saint Nicholas, or Saint Nicholas. This avatar of Hashatan, or Satan, appears in a fireplace and brings little children under his influence through the lies and stories they inherit from their own parents. Old Nick is another term for the deceiver of the nations. Pastors remain silent, knowing Yahushua was born during Sukkot. Tents, temporary shelters. A sukkah is a single tent you can make during Sukkot. Or you can bring your own. But I was going to have a Sukkot celebration and invite a bunch of people last year, and nobody got back to me about it. Go, Roscoe, no! Okay. Pastors remain... Okay, I read that part. And ask any pastor if Yahushua was born December 25th. And if not, whose birthday are we really celebrating? Those who hate Yahuwah carry forward many rebellious myths into the third and fourth generations. But those who love Yahuwah guard his commandments. The wicked one has no power over those who guard his commandments and call on the name of Yahushua. See Revelation 12:17. Ask your pastors why they know the truth, but remain silent. At Acts 7, the teaching authority stoned Stephen when they were confronted by the truth. Arabs are also Hebrews, speak the language of Abraham, and name their children with Hebrew names like Yusuf, Amir, Miriam, Yaqub, Abram, Elisha, Asha, Layla, Adam, and many others. Allah is not a name. It's the Hebrew word meaning mighty, high, or lofty one. It is spelled Aleph Lamed Hey. Yahuwah is the only living true Allah, and He alone is Allah.
I don't,
Eli is really Ali, meaning my mighty one. She's been freaking out. Languages have inherited vowel distortions caused by man-made Nikud marks invented in the 8th century. Elohim and El have become normalized for Elohim and Al. Muhammad and many other Arabs descend from Shem, and therefore are Hebrews, descendants of Eber, and are Shemitic in their speech.
Getting warm out.
They were not scattered or influenced by the languages of the nations. The first letter is Allahim. In Allahim is an Aleph, an A. Our letter known as A, yes. Yahuah, our Allahim, knows the Arabs worship a false deity from the east called Shiva, or Shiva. But he is calling many people of all nations and tongues to return to him in truth, including Christians. Without realizing it, Islam and Christianity are taught to practice Hinduism, patterns that were brought into the Middle East via the Silk Road trade route out of India in the 2nd century BCE, the land of Nimrod. Syncretism disguises pagan practices under new meanings. Crescents, trinities, images of cruxes, circumambulation, processions, Ravivara, or Sunday, morning services in temples of the sun, steeples, which are sun pillars, domes, which are Shiva lingams, bead praying, tears of Shiva, toasting, lifting a drink offering to demons. We can't toast either. Divinations and necromancy. We don't drink anyways. Divination and necromancy, ancestor worship, making wishes to the Queen of Heaven carried by smoke after blowing out candles, or making wishes to a genie or a jinn. Ancient worship of the hosts of heaven, zoo animals or zodiac, and more due to the turning aside to myths and falling prey to men's philosophies. The pledge, it's in the plunge. In the plunge. On the day of Yahuah, there's not going to be a revival. There's going to be a cleansing by fire.
No! Dude! Roscoe, no. Roscoe! Stop! No! Dude! Down! Roscoe, you just outside. Stop! Come on! No, dude!
1 second, guys. Sorry. Get off me, Roscoe. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Rather, you have to worry about, okay, wait, sorry. If you are not sealed with his name and obeying his commandments, you don't have to worry about what the dragon will do to you. See Revelation 12:17. You keep knocking Sissy's service vest down. Bad. Rather, you have to worry about what the Creator will do to you for your disobedience. See Yeshayahu 25. Yahusha wants his bride to drink of his well of living waters, so she may never thirst again. The marriage between Yahusha and his bride was renewed in his blood, and will be celebrated at the wedding supper of the Lamb. He divorced his idolatrous bride, Yirmiyahu 3, and could not legally remarry her until one of them died. The same covenant, the same husband, and the same wife are now rejoining in marriage through our pledge of immersion in water, calling on the name of Yahusha, our seal for the day of Yahuah. The Ruach HaKodesh purchased us by shedding his own blood. Acts 20:28. Blessed are those who are invited to the wedding supper of the Lamb. This is shown to us at Yehukanan or John 4, as Yahusha spoke with the woman at the well. When and if you consider returning to Yahusha's renewed covenant, he is waiting patiently. You have nothing to lose by obeying him, but everything to lose if you do not. I am the vine, you are the Natsarim. Yehukanan 15. Read Malachi 3 and 4 and Psalm 1 and 91. Got NIMRODed? Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, I had to pause for a second there. Okay, so we are on Got NIMRODed? The Magi, magicians, or definitely pagans, that's what the Magi are. We're following a messenger of Yahuah, not a constellation escapee. The Magi believe the writings of Daniel, and more is explained here. I'll put this in the description box under this title. How easy to deceive are you? The first Natsarim rested on the 7th day, and proof texting the following scriptures out of their proper context does not change the reality of the 4th commandment, which is, we remember Shabbat to guard it as KODESH. Here. Oh, here, actually. Teachers would prefer you not obey the word, but rather obey traditions set up by men long dead. 1 Corinthians 16:2. Okay. The first day of the week is obviously a work day. And Paul was wanting the believers at Corinth to gather food, not money.
Yeah, see?
So he could rescue the people in Jerusalem from starvation.
It's freaking busy, and it's not.
He even asked for volunteers to help carry it there. At Acts 20:7, Luke says they were gathering on the 3rd level of a building after sunset when the first in the count of Shavuot had arrived. Paul spoke more about this in the same chapter, intending to depart the next morning, eager to arrive at Jerusalem for Shavuot, or Feast of Weeks.
I'm sweating.
Do not trust everything you hear, but test everything by looking into the context and using an interlinear. Many translations have added words, such as the KJV. It is the only one that places the added words in italics. Pastors, read the preface of the translation you teach from. It will shock you. Truth or tradition? Many reading...
I'm sweating, Rascal. You guys gotta stop. I gotta work. I'm not even able to work because of this dog.
Many reading this know the price we who follow Yahushua must pay when we give ourselves to him and empty our vessels for his indwelling. The habits of the world are 100% idolatrous, and mixing or reinventing them is the scheme of the devil. This is important. We've been given eyesight.
Okay, but important. It's just that important where it's going to feed your fucking family. Yep. I'm done. Good for you.
Stop.
No, you've done that all day. You've been on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to pause. Truth or tradition? Many reading this know the price we who follow Yahushua must pay when we give ourselves to him and empty our vessels for his indwelling. The habits of the world are 100% idolatrous, and mixing or reinventing them is the scheme of the devil. We've been given eyesight, but our families do not yet have the ability to understand. The bonds of family and friends have been fused with Babel's trappings, and when we shed ourselves of them, those we cherish sense a disconnection with us. As we see from Yahushua's personal description of these circumstances, it seems our enemies are those of our own household. Matthew 10:26. 1 Peter 4:3-5 should give us some encouragement on this. Knowing the eternal perspective is more important to see than the dragon's delusions. For we have spent enough of our past lifetime in doing the desire of the Goyim, or the nations, having walked in indecencies, lusts, drunkenness, orgies, wild parties, and abominable idolatries, in which they are surprised that you do not run with them in the same flood of loose behavior, blaspheming, who shall give an account to him who is ready to judge the living and the dead. 1 Kepha or Peter 4:3-5, BYNV. 2 Peter 2 describes the depravity we have escaped from, and compromising is not an option. Accused of practicing Judaism? Romans 11:24 concerns how the cultivated tree is to view grafted in branches from wild trees, Goyim or foreigners, becoming obedient to the root. Ephesians 2:19 and 3:6 explain much more about how the revelation to Paul concerns the nations becoming fellow heirs with Yasharal through the covenant. See also Yeshayahu 56:6. As for Judaism, this was Paul's former way of living. Acts 26:4, Galatians 1:13, and he referred to it as the traditions of the fathers. This is also called the oral law, and a yoke or teaching that placed men's traditions above the word.
All the pages are over with.
It's all day till 3:30.
You got it wrong. It's Sunday. There's no peak page. It's over.
That placed men's traditions above the word.
Sunday. What, $1 at 3:30 the party.
Yes.
That's it. $1.
To alter the instructions is to live on firm wood. Yahushua is the vine. We are the Natsarim. Branches of his teachings. Yahushua exposed the error of those who place traditions in place of Yahuwah's instructions. See Mark 7:8. The scattered tribes are mixing thoroughly with the seed of the Goyim, or the nations. And we are now being awakened to prepare humanity for the second Exodus. This explains Ephesians chapter 2 and 3. Endtime Watchmen video study. 41 minutes and 20 seconds. What? Oh, I'll create one. Turned aside to myths. What could possibly go wrong? I'll have to make an account. I'll put the link for this video in the description box. I'm still going. It's really stupid, I know. I just have to do a quick making of an account later. In the above YouTube video, Matt reads the cause, 2 Timothy 4, and the effect, Malachi 4. Causality is about to show how catastrophic turning aside to myths can be. Read the preface of any translation. That's stupid. That doesn't make sense.
You never do it?
No. It is free. It's just you have to create a free account now. It doesn't make sense, but I'll do it. I know. Read the preface of any translation more pastors use. And the translators admit using a replacement term for the real name and claim tradition is the reason. Got bitter? Got a Christmas tree curse? Yirmiyahu was known as the weeping prophet. The book Wormwood might help tell us why. I have this book too, I believe, in my new books. So this is one of the ones that I'll be reading to you guys too.
I think you have almost all of them.
Yeah, I almost got all of them. It's at Amazon under Lou White, or you can go to TorahZone.net and they're available there too. We should feel bitterness towards sin, not obedience. As for me and my house, we serve, obey, or worship Yahuah and no one else. At Yirmiyahu 23:27, Yahuah tells how the fathers caused the people to forget his name for Baal, a demon. Baal is defined as Lord. At Yirmiyahu 10:3-4, the custom of cutting a tree from the forest and bringing the abomination into your home, into the house, and decorating it was being done. Deuteronomy 7:26 calls it a cursed object, a cursed thing. Oh no. We don't even live in Ohio, and we're getting... He has itchy eyes from going outside.
It's consistent, dude.
And we've had some other pretty bad, nasty symptoms. Yeah. The climate and the rain and the water with the rivers connecting the Mississippi, the St. Lawrence. I know we drink bottled water, but we bathe in the water and we wash dishes. Our hands get wet. And you go outside a lot with the dogs. I know. Deuteronomy 7:26 calls it a cursed thing, and any bringing such a detestable thing into their home will be accursed like it is. Can we obey Yahuwah today and not be considered heretics for doing so? The 4 vowels of Yahuwah are Yod, He, Uah, He. A double U, this is a V, and then the double U is not present. It appeared in the 15th century English by a crafty typesetter. A doubling of the Latin V shape sounded as a U. CHRIST, CHRESTOS, MASHIAK. The word Mashiach is found transliterated in the Greek letters. I can't read those Greek letters in 2 places, Yehukanan 141 and Yehukanan 425. If you guys can see this, I don't know if you can. It is right here. I cannot read this. Okay. That means CHRIST. No, in 2 places. Evidence that the original texts were in Hebrew. This is another word I can't read, and this word means CHRIST or anointed. And this other word I can't read, sorry, Christos or good, it means. Used in translations are not only unrelated to one another, but they are unrelated to a third word that now is used as a label worldwide, Christian. Among the Greek-speaking world, the Christianos was originally a term of scorn, transliterated into Latin as Christianus. Christian or Natsarim. The word Cretan derives from the Greek word expiotibos, I don't know if I read that right, and is used in 3 places in the Natsarim letters. The context shows this term was never what we called ourselves, but we were being called this by outsiders. Acts 11:26 and 26:28, and 1 Peter 4:16. Suffering is associated with being labeled a expiotibos, a Cretan, in today's vernacular. Yahusha said, I am the vine, you are the Natsarim. Yehukanan 15:5. Paul was accused by Tertullus as being a ringleader of the sect of the Natsarim. At Acts 24:5, let's just call ourselves Natsarim, the branches of his teaching. Encourage one another. Master Yahusha is coming. We are all trying to get better by drawing nearer to our teacher, Yahusha, and accept those who are just starting out who have very little understanding. There are intolerant people everywhere, including the body of believers. But as we grow into the likeness of our teacher, our anger subsides, and we drop the stones we brought to throw at one another. Koheleth or Ecclesiastes 12:12-14, the words of the preacher. And besides these, my son, be warned. The making of many books has no end, and much study is a wearying of the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the entire matter. Fear Elohim and guard his commandments, for this applies to all mankind. For Elohim shall bring every work into lawfulness, goodness. including all that is hidden, whether good or evil. BYNV. Pagan customs, pastors refuse to discuss. A weeping prophet, known as Jeremiah or Yirmiyahu, said this about the tribulation days we now live in today. Notice two things that have serious significance, and many people are now able to perceive. The pagan customs practiced by the whole world and how people will come to know the name is YAHUAH. YAHUAH, my strength and my stronghold, and my refuge in the Yom or day of distress. The Goyim or nations shall come to you from the ends of the Eretz or the earth and say, our fathers have inherited only falsehood, futility, and there is no value in them. Would a man make mighty ones for himself, which are not mighty ones? Yes, we've seen that with the Lincoln Memorial and a whole bunch of other huge statues that have no sense. We don't worship statues.
They blew up the Georgia Guidestone.
Oh, yes, they did blow up the Georgia Guidestones that I talked about in my other video. No, I didn't talk about them blowing them up. That just happened recently. But I think it only blew up like one of the standing.
Oh, here, let's just blow them up.
Yeah, and I guess there's only one road that goes in and out of that area, so they're wondering why no the camera footage didn't see who it was.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, because one road in, one road out. So yeah. Well, it was there, and a lot of people said they've seen lights there where like they were having satanic rituals at the Georgia Guidestones, and no, it's not. And they'd find candle wax and chicken blood there from chickens being sacrificed.
And all our chickens are dying already.
And yes, there's. Yeah.
I just hope everyone's okay.
Me too. Okay. Would a man? Yeah, I said that already. So but the Georgia Guidestones, they were the 10 Commandments of the Illuminati, pretty much. And R.C. Christian was the fake pen name for the guy who built the stones, but his name was really, I think it was Kirsten. It was something weird like that, but it sounded kind of like his pen name he put on there. But he's long gone now, so people are saying his name online now and showing who he was.
Oh, my back.
Okay, sorry, I'll continue. No, therefore, it's okay, but I was talking to the.
I get you a check all the time when you're on there.
I know.
Well, because you record it and it goes on to YouTube, so it screws it up. People are like, what the heck is going on?
It's okay. Life happens while I'm making videos.
Life is always happening.
Yeah. Therefore, see, I am causing them to know. This time I cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahuwah. Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah 16:19-21, BYNV. A whole world deceived. Some teachers say the 10 Commandments are a curse. If obeying the 10 Commandments of our Creator Yahuwah is now the pursuit of Ha, meaning the, Shaitan, meaning adversary, then one needs to consider Yahusha's words at Matthew 5:18-22. For truly I say to you, till the heaven and the Eretz, or the heavens and the earth, or the Shamayim and the Eretz, the Shamayim, pass away, one yod or one tittle shall by no means pass from the Torah till all be done. Whoever then breaks one of the least of these commands and teaches men so shall be called least in the reign of the Shamayim or the heavens. Whoever does and teaches them, he shall be called great in the reign of the Shamayim. For I say to you that unless your obedience exceeds that of the scribes and the Pharisees, You shall by no means enter into the reign of the Shamayim, or the heavens. You heard that it was said to those of old, You shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be liable to judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Racha, shall be liable to the Sanhedrin. But whoever says, You fool, shall be liable to fire of Gehenna. Yod, smallest letter, tittle refers to the turn, horn, or stroke within any individual Hebrew letter. So a very tiny portion of it. Now this is the lighting of the ceremonial altar at the Olympics. They have that at the Olympic Games now. I think this one's at the Roman. This is the altar of Zeus, idolatry of Olympic proportions. They still do this to this day. Right here. This one. Yeah.
Where they held this?
I don't remember where they were this year. I thought it was, yes, somewhere in the UK. I don't know, because we don't watch them.
No. Let's go here. I can take this
Sun worship. I'll show you guys a picture after. That's a woman lighting some kind of ceremonial bowl here. High priestess lights torch from parabolic solar furnace. Archimedes used the same principle using polished shields against the Romans in the siege of Syracuse. That's weird.
There's a city called Syracuse.
Yeah, because we live near a Syracuse.
Yeah, that's the name of someone, eh? Is that the name?
The Romans in the siege of Syracuse. So that was probably against a town or city.
Somewhere near Rome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is very...
So they got Roman names over here.
Coincidence, eh?
Yeah. Or planned by Illuminati.
Conspiracy theory. What is it? We'll figure it out.
Yes. JESUS really means Hail Zeus. But the name JESUS is Jesus in Latin, or in Latin America, Spanish language. So I don't know why it didn't click sooner that wasn't the true name. It doesn't mean the LORD is salvation. Pegasus, Tarsus, Dionysus, and Parnassus are just a few Greek words referring to the fake deity Zeus. What possible motive would anyone have for replacing the true name with a Greek word containing SUS or sus in it, other than tradition and clinging to habit? We must never deny Yahusha's name, and he will not share his esteem with another, which is one of the commandments. Well, it's part of one of the commandments. Do not cast the name of Yahuwah our Elohim to ruin, and have no other Elohim before my face. The Olympic Games honor Zeus, and they light a torch from the rays of the sun and carry the presence of their deity to light the altar of Zeus so he can watch the athletes compete. You can see this at, I'll leave this under JESUS really means Hail Zeus. I'll leave it under that title in the description box, the link for you guys. The whole world has been deceived. And the next section is, YAHUSHA is the Antivenom. Where is the brood of vipers thriving today? Does Yahuwah want us to obey and live, or disobey and think it's okay with him if we believe the Torah was a curse against us until Yahusha took it out of the picture? That doesn't make any sense, does it? The Prushim, or the Pharisees, controlled doctrines, and by their teaching authority ordained all who taught the traditions of the fathers as they ordered. They did not know by what authority Yahusha was given authority to teach. He was given authority by the Father, and he was the Father in the flesh. Traditions of men became their commandments, superseding the commandments of Yahuwah. The venom of vipers has stunned the whole world. but Yahushua is the antivenom. The brood of vipers now thrives in the Christian seminaries. And in vain do they worship me, teaching as teachings the commandments of men, forsaking the command of Elohim, or Elohim. You hold fast the tradition of men. And he said to them, well, do you set aside the command of Elohim in order to guard your tradition? For Musha or Moses said, respect your father and your mother, and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. But you say, if a man says to his father or mother, whatever profit you might have received from me is korban, which means that is a gift. You no longer let him do anything at all for his father or his mother, nullifying the word of Elohim through your tradition, which you have handed down, and many such traditions you do. Mark 7:8 through 13, BYNV. See Romans 3:13 and Psalm 140.3. The next one section is white stone. There's a white stone mentioned at Revelations 2:17, and the builders rejected it. Psalm 118:26, and it is the key of knowledge and the answer to the question posed at Proverbs 30.4. Mount Carmel, 1 Kings 18:20 through 40, give proof that Yahuah is Elohim, not Baal, Hebrew Lord. Our teachers have a long tradition of teaching lies and futility. What? Oh.
No, I have to start at 5 now.
Oh, great. Oh, I thought it was 3:30 to 5.
I'm just going to keep checking it.
Okay. I don't want you to miss it. I thought it was 3:30 to 5.
Yeah, I already missed it.
Oh.
There's no peak from 3 to 5.
Oh.
It's from 3:30. Yeah, 3:30. No, 5 to whatever is $1.
7?
I don't know. I'm doing whatever, but this one is it. They're all gone. There's no peak pay right now. But if it gets busy, I'm going to push it.
Okay.
And then at 5, I have to do it because that's the only extra $1. There's no other.
Okay.
They keep taking peak pays out and putting Sunday or Monday on there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like I thought there was $2.50 all day until 5, but there's not. No, I've been looking. 3:30. Yeah. See.
Yeah. Okay. The identity of who Yahushua is may be found in his name. Yeah, am I right?
That's the one I'm doing.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
It's not right now.
I know. It's soon. It means I am your deliverer.
Roscoe,
the world is now learning how far it has been led astray, even to the point of hiding his true identity. Oh. And calling on devices invented by men, which any preface will clearly show those who diligently seek his name. Read the preface of the KJV, NIV, or NASB. And if you receive the white stone the builders rejected, it will change you for all eternity. The verse at Exodus or Shema 3:14 uses the Hebrew words Ahaya Asher Ahaya. This phrase translates to our English as I will be who I will be. The Ancient of Days, Atik Yomin, is he who was and who is to come. It identifies Yahushua to be the Aleph and the Taw at Revelation 1:8, revealing he is the Almighty Al Shaddai. We must not incriminate anyone, but help them guard the commandments and learn to do the things that please Yahushua. Men's teaching authorities are not pleasing to him. I can take her.
Sorry, I don't want you to keep stopping it. Men pleasing him. Stop. Oh, I put her the wrong way.
It's okay.
Roscoe.
She'll turn. She did it. Wiggle bean.
My left eye itches. I'm trying to not itch it. I think it's just from.
Well, I woke up with a sore throat, breathing in the smell that was on Bella all night. Go!
outside and see if you smell something. I do, because I feel like I smell something weird outside. I can't tell what it is. Yeah, your ear. I got a headache from you barking in my ear. You can't bark.
I didn't smell anything when we went shopping the other day, but okay. But I bet I've been smelling stuff. She don't smell like it today, but she smelled like it yesterday.
Yeah, every time I come in. This time I come in, I was sweating and I'm just hot. My whole body was on fire. Come on. I'm making sure I don't rash.
Yeah, I know. The verse that okay, I read that. This phrase translates Ahaya Asha Ahaya. Sorry, I got interrupted again. It's okay. Yes. I can't wait until I can get an office room.
That's what we're supposed to do.
We have a house, but we got to move there. We got to be able to move there.
It's so hard.
It's hard because of the way things are. But we're working on it.
We're trying.
Yeah. This.
Now we have an idea.
Yeah, at least we have an idea.
Yeah, we have this little place and then a bigger place. But the bigger place would be so much better because we have up in the office.
Yeah.
We need a plan. How to do it. Rascal, come.
This phrase translates to our English as I will be who I will be. The Ancient of Days, Atik Yomen. Is he who was and who is and who will be. Or who is to come. Sorry, not he will be. It identifies Yahusha to be the Aleph and the Tav at Revelation 1:8, revealing he is the Almighty or the Al Shaddai. We must not incriminate anyone, but help them guard the commandments and learn to do the things that please Yahusha. Men's teaching authorities are not pleasing to him. What would life look like if Yahusha instilled a love for his commandments in you? Why do you suppose that I'm not? I'm not trying to be right. Wisdom shows its uprightness by results. And Yahusha wants you to belong to him. He's been calling you. He is there when you're ready to open the door and invite him into your life. The good tree bears good fruit. The bad tree, bad fruit. Those who show the fruits of Yahusha's spirit produce these fruits: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, steadfastness, and self-control. A bad tree cannot produce these. Weak and miserable principles of pagans. Colossians, Galatians, and Corinthians were all former pagans, and Paul was warning them to not fall prey to men's philosophies and excuses to disobey. They were all new to obeying Yahuwah's new months, Shabbats, food rules, so Paul encouraged them not to feel incriminated or judged by those outside the belief. Christianity has been teaching people to disobey for so long, they have no idea that Paul meant to be steadfast regardless of the pressures their families and peers put on them. We all know how that feels. Phyllis and Lou point out the esoteric meaning of Valentine's Day in another video of the former paganism of the Colossians, Galatians, and Corinthians. Comes up in their conversation. The ebook of this book takes you directly to that discussion.
Is that...
Click the photo. Valentine's Day Origins video. Bacchus symbol for orgy. Is the heart?
What?
Yes, it's the heart with the
Valentine's Day is what? An orgy?
No. There's a symbol. The heart with the arrow through it.
Yeah,
that means orgy.
The Valentine's Day.
For Valentine's Day, yes.
Very good, boy.
So you can probably find this on Do Not Learn the Ways of the Heathen. You can find this on TorahZone.net, I'm pretty sure. Misinterpreting Paul, which a lot of Christians do. Paul is very misunderstood. The Philippians, Ephesians, Galatians, Colossians, and Corinthians were not falling back into practices Yahuwah commanded us to live by. They were all former pagans, and Paul was writing to them to encourage them to avoid the patterns of the world they had been familiar with, like birthdays, or special days based on fertility, building pillars, bowing to idols, fornicating in sun temples with shrine prostitutes, which were nuns in the ancient days. These are the weak and miserable principles. In fact, the things they did were so disgusting, Paul said it was shameful even to speak of them.
So, Russell, come on. Okay.
Ephesians 5:12.
Come on, bud.
Peter described their folly to be like a dog returning to its own vomit.
Look at your butt.
2 Peter 2:2 and 22 and Proverbs 26:11. Today, pastors act like the Shabbat is dog vomit, but they misunderstand what they profess to be truth. For if after they have escaped the defilements of the world through the knowledge of Adonai and deliverer Yahushua HaMashiach, they are again entangled in them and overcome, the latter end is worse for them than the first. It would have been better for them not to have known the way of obedience, than to have known it and then to turn from the KODESH command delivered to them. Of them, the proverb has proved true. A dog returns to its own vomit, and a washed sow returns to her rolling in the mud. 2 Peter 2:21 through 22. Roscoe. Paul was telling Corinthians to keep the feast of Matzah. See 1 Corinthians 5:8. Rome and Alexandria despised the Yahudim, and Constantine ordered that they have nothing in common with the hostile rabble of the Yahudim. Christianity adopted the pagan festivals, transferred the duties of Shabbat to Sunday, and kept on eating swine or pigs, pork, ham, all of that nasty crap.
They're starting to put in everything, stuff that you never used to see it in.
Yes, and that is why I always have him look at the ingredients labels when he's at the store. Yeah. The same thing goes for pizza. That's another thing that we have to look at carefully if we ever want to get it. Because pepperoni has it in it. They can even hide it in the sauce. So you got to be careful of that too. Next is the
homemade sauce.
The homemade sauce, yeah.
Our special sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pigs.
Yeah, it's gross.
I mean, okay.
You can joke about it. It's fine.
I know about it. Wow, he's a jerk.
No.
He's a jerk, dude. He's horrible. That guy is just horrible. He's making smart comments about things he shouldn't.
No. No, Lou makes jokes too.
Yeah. He's a nut job. Your husband's a nut job.
No. All the pagans had trinities, inherited from Babel. Just like in my one of my old favorite shows as a kid growing up, I used to watch Charmed, and they had a trinity, or the power of 3 shall set them free. No, not true. No. Yahuah is one. Yahusha and the Ruach HaKodesh, they are one. They are not 3 separate entities. The headmaster of Alexandria, Athanasius, said, 1 God in 3 persons was the Catholic faith. Yahuah is one, Deuteronomy 6:4, and Yahusha said it was the most important commandment of them all, Mark 12:29. People are taught to disobey the light yoke of Yahusha's walk, and are burdened with the same pagan fertility patterns, reinvented to conceal their former meaning. Eggs, trees, wreaths, cakes, pillars, and the whole schedule pagans use are cherished today as at great expense and effort. The idea of obeying Yahuah evokes a bitter response and is considered sinful. 2 Peter 2:2. Yahusha is awakening his watchmen, but those not awakening are still dreaming in their drunken stupor. Babel's stronghold. Read Malachi 4:1 through 6. Yeshua or Yahusha? Yahusha is the real name, but the fearful try to prove it was something else. Yod Shin Ua Ayin is the diminutive form of Yod He Ua Shin Ayin, and is a spelling used once for a name at Numbers 13:16. Yahusha is found 216 times in the Tanakh. The diminutive form for names was inscribed by those who wanted to avoid offending those who were trained to not use the name. Natsarim are using the name. It is a burning fire in our bones, and we cannot hold it back. The hypocharisma or diminutive form only placates, capitulates, and perpetuates the effort to limit a fuller understanding of the original name. It is like saying Mike is the real name and thinking Michael is not. Cracked cisterns and old wineskins are fixed by getting new ones. The simple believe every word, but the clever one watches his steps. Are the commandments weak and miserable principles? Shameful. YouTube video. I'll leave the link in the description box. Paul's letters were written to former pagans who were backsliding into their old ways, not backsliding into Torah. This 15-minute video may be what you need to help someone understand what Paul was talking about and who he was talking to. Colossians, Ephesians, Philippians, and Corinthians were all former pagans until Paul shared the truth with them. The idol peddlers were enraged because Paul's message was causing them great financial loss. Today, the Gentiles are learning their customs are all from idolatry, and their pastors have not told them. Yahusha is awakening his watchmen. A distorted viewpoint of Paul's letters has been inherited from our forefathers. Paul was a Natsarim emissary to the Gentiles or nations, Goyim, and his letters warned them of how they were falling back into their former patterns of the world, fleshly desires. Christianity perpetuates a serious misunderstanding about what Paul was talking about in his letters. The Colossians, Galatians, Ephesians, and Corinthians were former pagans, and their former ways of worshiping their idols was shameful. No, it's not him. Today, teachers think Paul was referring to Sabbaths, festivals, and the commandments as backsliding. And this short video will present to you what Paul really meant to say in his letters. Get free downloads of tracts at TorahZone.net. The name, the stone, the builders rejected. The stone was found in Samaria, where the northern tribes had built a temple after the houses were divided after Shlomo's death. That's the stone. My game?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up.
That's okay, baby.
I know, but yeah, sometimes when I feel like, oh, it has a ton of stuff on me.
I know. Well, I don't know how long between each time new stuff comes on.
There's a ton of things on there now, the whole map is
Yeah.
I'm trying to like get all the stuff down to the gorilla or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't, everything keeps cropping up.
A stone with an ancient Samaritan Hebrew script located at Los Lunas, New Mexico, USA.
Everything in that back in the day.
Yeah. Newsflash, Aleph is an A. Huh? Adam means red ground. Eretz is Hebrew for earth, soil, or land. Elohim means elevated, high, upward, mighty one. Abraham means father of nations, multitudes. He was told he would have multitudes of children. Can you find any of these letters in the stone above it? Yes, I have. It's too hard to show it on here. I don't think you guys will be able to see it on the stone. Okay, conspiracy to hide the name. YOD-HE-UAH, YAHUAH. Shout it from the rooftops. Lamb Legacy Project DVD 1. Phonology is the study of the sound of a language. In the case of the inspired word of YAHUAH, there has been a long-standing resistance to uttering the name. In the 8th century, a sophisticated method using vowel marks was developed, and it has been promoted successfully for many centuries, and is the official delusion now. It has been the primary lock keeping everyone from calling on the name. We have the key, and we are the guardians of the name. We are the Natsarim, the first followers of Yahushua. Here in the last days, Yahushua is awakening his bride, those having stored up the extra oils of his name. The conspiracy to conceal his name is being shouted from the rooftops. This is the apostasy, falling away, 2 Thessalonians 2:3, that must come first. Are you feeling urges from Yahushua to fall away from men's teachings and obey his word? Yes. One of the problems of getting to the truth has always been a teaching authority stepping in to make it seem the lay person.
You gotta pay attention. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you don't really. It's like people hear this and they're like, I don't know. But when you really start noticing,
Yes, it hits you.
The actual truth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get it, babe. And a lay person is a common person or common folk, like any of us. Doesn't have the capacity, training, or permission granted to them to teach. That's what pastors think. This was how they treated Yahushua. Because he released so much truth, he became a threat to fragile egos of those controlling teachings. Yahushua is our teacher, not traditions invented by men. The name is the key of knowledge, the rock rejected by the builders, the chief cornerstone that they rejected. Psalms 118:26.
I thought you might want a hot drink or something. I can't chocolate. Is it good? No.
Yeah.
Thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's quite.
Yeah. Helps my voice, hot drink. Where do we observe the festivals now? We observe the times of the festivals and view them as shadows or outlines like a template of Yahusha's redemption. Around the world today, or the restoration of all things is part of what we are seeing all around the world today. Yahusha is awakening his watchmen to announce the message of repentance, and we now understand we are his temple, made without human hands. He is in his temple and teaching us to guard his observances, to train us. 1 Yehukanan 2:4 helps us realize how the teaching authorities have led us into confusion. We obey from our hearts and minds. Just as Yahusha told the woman at the well at Yehukanan 4. True worshippers become living offerings and recognize Yahusha is our Passover lamb. In the 2008 bull edict by the Pope prohibits using the forms Yahweh, Yehovah, or anything other than the traditional words used to replace the name. The Tetragrammaton, 4 vowels, the letters of the name in Hebrew, is not to be sung, read, or spoken in Catholic circus worship to perpetuate the long-standing tradition to never utter the true name based on those letters. The bull directs bishops to exclusively use any other word but the real name, encouraging the policy of replacing it with Dominus, L-O-R-D, Adonai, my L-O-R-D, or Kyrios, L-O-R-D, etc. Every pastor should read the preface of the translation they teach from, and do so in front of their congregation. Those who have ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to those assemblies will be appalled. But few pastors will hear his voice. The pastors who will hear him will seek him and teach from a translation with Yahuah's name in it. The BYNV is recommended, and a full explanation is found in its introduction or preface, as well as the glossary. The book, where was I can't find it. The book. The book Love contains both also.
I'm listening.
Okay. And explains transliterated Hebrew words without the Masoretic distortions. The name is 4 vowels, and it's vital to look up the definition of a vowel. The popular form Yehovah uses the modern sound of V, a consonant, and the Yeho, Y-E-H-O, is influenced by the post-8th century Masoretic distortions. The transliteration Yahu is closer to the original heard in Yashayahu, Netanyahu, and Hallelujah. FossilizedCustoms.com/transliteration. I will add that to the description box. Of the writings of many books, there is no end, and many of those contain spurious, even fanciful, and anachronistic ideas, like the apocryphal books. Ecclesiastes or Koheleth 12:12-14 sums it all for us, and we can grow in the knowledge of Yahusha as we read as much of his word as possible, with his discerning Ruach to guide us. More light will surely be forthcoming, some by new discoveries and revelations of hidden scrolls. The burning of books throughout the centuries and the fires at the Alexandrian Library were intentionally set to control knowledge. Knowing Yahuwah, how do we know him? And by this we know that we know him, if we guard his commands. The one who says, I know him, and does not guard his commands is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoever guards his word, truly the love of Yahuwah has been perfected in him. I don't know. By this we know that we are in him. The one who says he lives in him ought himself also walk even as he walked. Beloved, I write no original unfamiliar command to you, but an old command which you have heard from the beginning. The old command is the word which you have heard from the beginning. 1 Yehukanan 2:3-7. The main goal for mankind is often overlooked. Yirmiyahu 9:23-24 tells us it's knowing Yahuwah and knowing what he loves, kindness, lawfulness, and obedience. Acts 20:28 tells us we are purchased by the blood shed by the Ruach HaKodesh, set-apart spirit, Yahuwah himself. He spoke to humanity through the body of Yahusha, Hebrews 1:1-3, as he explained to Philip at Yehukanan 14:9. The next section is Yahusha is omnipresent. The evidence is overwhelming that the Ruach HaKodesh operates within us. And Acts 20:28 says he shed his own blood to purchase us. Yahusha is omnipresent, and realizing he is in us is the secret that is revealed when he opens our understanding to his identity. Colossians 1:27. At Revelation 1:8, Yahusha declares himself to be Al Shaddai. No created being can make a claim like that. Yahuwah does not give his esteem to another. See Yashayahu or Isaiah 42:8. Yahusha disappeared in the middle of a crowd of men holding stones to kill him after he told them he is Elohim. When Yahusha said, before Abraham was I am. Yehukanan 8:58. Before Abraham was I am. The great I am. Yehukanan 10:33 was a similar situation. Yehukanan 14:9 gives Yahusha's reply to Philip. He who has seen me has seen the Father. There's much more at this webpage, fossilizedcustoms.com/omnipresence, and I will put that in the description for you guys. Underneath Yahusha is omnipresent. Fiction is believed instinctively. There are many approaches the dragon uses to distract, divide, and unsettle our hearts. People are easily led into fantasies of all kinds, and they manipulate the scripture of truth to base their claims. The misunderstanding of their translations as taught by xenophobes and bigots is not the only method they use to sow hatred against populations. They manipulate words to mean what they want them to mean, and declare all other interpretations to be incorrect as they shame everyone who believes otherwise. Whether it be sighted moon, lunar Shabbat, Edomite, or DNA, skin color, or any other basis used to argue with one another over. They are all serving to divide and use time we should be dedicating to the two things Yahushua told us to do. Teach the name, and to obey everything he commanded us to obey. He loves all people, and nothing can separate us from that love. Romans 8:38-39. Not even being an Edomite that guards his Shabbats. How ridiculous it is for anyone to judge what Yahuwah is planning, or what is in another person's heart. We are not supposed to be going to the land until Yahushua returns and regathers us together. And he promised it would be so awesome when he brings us back to it that it would overtake anything else he has ever done up to that point. Yahudim who have been mixed into the nations for thousands of years, see Amos 9:9, are in the land now. And if there is a trace of Edom and other people mixed into their DNA, great. Yahuwah will shield them when the United Nations attacks them, because their maker is Yahuwah. Hebrew word for moon, YERAK. And I showed you guys this earlier. This is what is a month and the difference between the two different KODESHs. The different KODESH meanings, the KO and the QO. That was in my last video. Next time, I'm probably going to be finishing up this book with you guys either tomorrow or tonight sometime. I'm going to spend some time with my husband and our puppies for a little bit. Well, I've got about 10 pages left to read, or 9 pages. And then I'm excited, of course. Oh, now it's very busy when I'm going to spend time with you guys. So, well, it's my video's an hour and 17 minutes. If you can start it, babe, it's okay.
No, it's hot standing for $3. I'm not even.
Well, $1 is here for right now, an extra $1. I know. If anyone that lives in other states has
there is no pizza.
Uber Eats or what are some of the other ones? Instacart. Grubhub.
I don't know. There's like
Lyft. If you want to drive people. The other ones you can pick up food at grocery stores, alcohol, people's prescription meds, DoorDash. And my husband does DoorDash, and it's a pretty good, decent gig job. But if you don't have a job right now, this is one of the easiest ways you can make money. If you have a vehicle, if you have a bicycle, if you don't have a car and you only have a bike, you can still do those jobs. But some of them you might need a car for, like Lyft.
Cities you can do, Lyft.
But in the cities, you can make a lot more money. We live in a very small town, so it's a lot harder. But I just want to help you guys out if anybody has lost their job recently, because I know I was talking to a sister out here yesterday, and she was having a hard time at work. This is the only way we can make money. So, and no dashes have came in today, so we didn't really have a great day. But we always take Shabbat off. Like, I do the calling for his customer service for DoorDash when he needs help, and he does the driving. And I watch the puppies while he's gone. But I love you all, and I hope everybody learned something from that lesson. And I will be opening the new book soon, but I will finish Timeline with you guys either tonight or tomorrow morning. and then we'll get into one of the new books. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm going to let one of you guys pick which book I should start with, or if I'm just going to pick one and start. But Yahuwah bless you and your families. I love you all. Baruch haba Hashem Yahuwah. Bella Bean. Tell brother leave you alone. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Beanie.